all changes, even the most longed for, have their melancholy. What we leave behind us is part of ourselves. We must die to one life before we can enter another. Anatole France, a 19th century French poet, said those words. And when I first heard them, I was struck by realization. I don't know if it's true for any of you, but in my life, some of the most trying, twisting, and traumatic moments have overlapped with times of change. What that quote helped me understand is that when I didn't fully acknowledge or embrace those changes, that piece of me that was supposed to be dead and left behind instead came with me and became a ghost. Mr. Contest Master, fellow Toastmasters and guests, are you haunted by previous versions of yourself? Let me provide you with some examples of the specter stalking my life. When I was 11 years old and living in Youngstown, Ohio, my father came home and announced, "We're moving to Orlando, Florida." My disappointment could be described in 2 words. Mickey Mouse! I was going to be moving next door to Disney World. I could practically smell the ocean as we drove that packed car down to Florida. What could be bad in Florida? Enter middle school. I had real trouble making friends those first couple years in Florida, but no trouble being bullied. I began to wonder what my life would have been like if we'd stayed in Ohio. That's when my first phantom appeared, Ohio Jeremy. Back in Ohio, my friends had gone on to play football and be the popular kids. That had been me. Maybe I'd never have been bullied. I began to see Ohio Jeremy as a strutting, smirking superstar. Complete confidence, ultimate control, and the perfect excuse for every time I fail. Dumped by the girl, denied the sales commission, didn't win the Toastmasters competition. Ohio Jeremy's always there to console me. Don't worry about it, Jeremy. Not your fault. If you'd stayed in Ohio, everything would be easy. Life would be sweet. I've learned that when I accept that logic, I never improve or grow. My second spirit materialized after my wedding. I believe marriage is finding that one person you want to annoy for the rest of your life. And believe me, I started annoying poor Rebecca early and often. Bachelor Jeremy saw to that. You see, before I got married, I'd come home, plop myself on the couch, flip on the tube, and sit there till bedtime. Clean the floor. Why? Just to be dirty again tomorrow. Laundry? Maybe if I need clean underwear. Or I could just turn them inside out. Needless to say, this attitude did not please my new queen. Clean the floor, wash the sheets, pick up after the dogs. Whew. Keeping her happy is a full-time job. And all along, I have Bachelor Jeremy advising me. Dude, you don't need to do that. If she really wants it done, she'll do it herself. I have learned to combat his misguided mutterings with my marriage mantra. Say it with me. Happy wife.
Happy life.
Perhaps my most dangerous ghost I only discovered recently. But I learned he possessed me more than 20 years ago. Back in my junior year of high school, I did a 2-month study abroad program. When I returned, it was all I wanted to talk about. I was obsessed. My friends tried to understand me, but about after a month of me yammering at them, they stopped hanging out with me. Completely cut me off. I was so alone. Devastated doesn't begin to describe it. And that's when resentful Jeremy took root. Not an outside apparition like the others. Resentful Jeremy lives inside of me, flooding me with negative emotions whenever I think about that time. I ball my fists and clench my teeth and say, how could they do that to me? How could they cut me off and leave me all alone? They were supposed to be my friends! Felt that way for 2 decades. Until just recently, a friend said, you know, Jeremy, your friends didn't change. You did. Mind blown. How had that never occurred to me? How had I never realized? They were the same. I was different. The friends I made after breaking with them, I'm still close with to this day. Understanding that it was my change that caused that division has helped me release that resentment. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, who are your ghosts? I do believe we have to die a little death every time we change, but I think there's more to it than that. There is a reason we have funerals, for closure, to say goodbye. I encourage each of you to hold a memorial service for the past versions of you that may be holding you back. Let today be my eulogy for Ohio Jeremy, who never really existed except in my mind. For Bachelor Jeremy, who hangs over my marriage, but who I can fight every day by remembering how my wife's smile uplifts my soul. And a resentful Jeremy, not just from high school, but for every time he wanted me to look out when I should have been looking in. Who am I? I'm Florida Jeremy. I'm husband Jeremy. I'm grateful Jeremy. Mr. Contest.